Hey guys, I got with the picks. Coming back to you again Monday afternoon. Hopefully you guys jumped on the early video where we released Western Michigan over Nevada. It was an absolute beating where we went 1-0 on the day and we're looking to move to 2-0 on the day. And the game that I capped for later on, obviously, is the Monday Night Football game, where we got Miami at 7-7, traveling to New Orleans at 7-7. This line opened up at New Orleans minus 3.5, and now it sits at Miami minus 3. Total opened up at 41. It sits at 37.5. Now there is a major reason why that line has shifted 6.5 points. And we'll get to that. Both these teams are in playoff contention. Miami started out the year 1-7, looking like they were a sitting duck for the rest of the teams in the NFL. Easy pushovers. And what they've done in the last 6 weeks has been nothing short of impressive. They've won their last 6 games. And they've done it more on one side than the other. They've done it on their defensive side. In the last 6, they've only allowed more than 17 points one time. And that was, unfortunately, last week to the Jets, where we had Miami. And Miami was up by 10 in that game where we had a shot at covering, and then they ended up winning the game. They ended up winning the game, but they didn't get the cover, and we took the loss that day. But they've only given up more than 17 one time in the past six games, and that was to the Jets. New Orleans is starting their rookie quarterback, and Book, out of Notre Dame. Taysom Hill was supposed to start this game. And with Taysom Hill in there, the odd makers thought that the right spread would have been New Orleans minus 3.5. Especially for the game and dominance that they did last week to Tampa Bay. I don't think any sports reporter, any sports an analyst, anyone that knows sports, could have ever guessed in 100 guesses that Tampa Bay would have gotten beat last week by New Orleans 9-0. We're talking about the defending Super Bowl champions. We're talking about Tom Brady. I don't care who was on the team and who wasn't on the team. I will tell you who was on the team, and that was Tom Brady. And they got blanked. And that defense just... They made Tampa Bay look unseen. And that's, in my mind, that's impossible to do, and they did it. So with having Ian Bookend starting this week, they thought it was favorable to switch it over to Miami minus 3, where you have a 6.5 point swing because of a rookie quarterback. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I can see that especially for one reason. Rookie quarterbacks typically have a hard time with the speed in the NFL. Now, there's not another team that blitzes more than Miami. So Book tonight should get confused a good amount of times just by the speed, by the defensive schemes. It's going to be interesting to watch. But typically, a rookie quarterback against a team that blitz is normally and I'm not just talking about like blitzes like 1 every 4 downs. I'm talking about blitzes. Like blitzes. Under smoke on Madden. the whole game, like just bringing guys the whole game at different positions, and just it's like the bob and weave in boxing. It's the bob and weave in boxing. The way Flores sends his defensive players in there, the past 6 weeks have shown. Let's see what else I got here. I'm not taking anything away from New Orleans defense, because New Orleans defense is a powerhouse. They're a powerhouse. Miami's going to struggle. I mean, I'm not saying Miami's not going to struggle. Miami is going to struggle mightily. They are going to struggle in this game to move the ball against New Orleans' defense. They are going to struggle. This total sits at 37.5. Believe me, these guys behind these numbers, they know what they're doing. They know how close this game's going to be. They know how close it's going to get to this number. I mean, anyone looking at this game on paper side by side and looking at numbers, stats, past, present, I mean, you can see that this is going to be a tight game. I see a lot of punting going on in this game. I see more punting going on from one team than the other. Even if it is two or three more punts. You're talking about 2 or 3 more offensive possessions out of one team that can have a little bit more time of possessions period, controlling the clock. All those things go into factor when you're looking at a game as a whole. The team that I think that will punt more tonight, unfortunately, is the home team. I think New Orleans is going to be punting more tonight than Miami. Tua has been solid. Last week he threw 2 interceptions against the Jets. Before that, Tua has been solid. He's been leading this team. Gaskins was on the COVID list. Duke Johnson stepped in last week. Hell, he ran for, 120 yards and a couple touchdowns. No one's seen that coming. I mean, they're going to have him at their disposal this week. Gaskins is going to be back, I'd like to say 95% this week. Miami has a lot of things that are coming together this week that they didn't have last week. And that's a positive for their team. I believe one of these teams will get in the playoffs. If not both. But I think both is going to be hard. But I do think one of them gets in. Let's see, I got some against the spread numbers here I want to share too. Tonight I see a lot of dump routes. I see a lot of short routes because of the blitzing. I see a lot of little gains. I don't see home run threats. I just don't see that type of thing going on in tonight's game. Tonight's going to be a grind out, hopefully move the change, 5 to 6 minute drives. I see those happening. I also think there'll be a turnover or 2 in this game also. The Dolphins are 5-1-1 against the spread in their last 5. The Saints are 1-6 against the spread on Monday Night Football in their last 7. I just think this number is too low, to be honest with you, for having Book starting tonight against a defense that is going to confuse them. My personal opinion, I think in what I see, this line should be 5.5 at the least, 6.5 at the most. When I put numbers together, that's what I come up with. We'll see how the game plays out, though. We definitely will. Like I say, I see a lot of punting. I don't see a lot of points. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the game's going to go over or under. There may be some defensive points scored in this game. I'm not sure. But when I put these two teams together for what they're putting on the field tonight, the arrow points towards one team. And that team's obviously the Miami Dolphins. Your pick tonight is take Miami -3. We're going to go to 2-0 today on the channel. I'm still debating on putting out a basketball game tonight that I like a lot, that I've already dumped a good amount of money on. Guys, jump on this. I think this is definitely going to be profitable tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, the whole 9 yards. Continue to do it, and I'll continue to bring you good information and winners at a higher percentage. And guys, you already know what I'm going to do until I get back to you. I'm going to get back to getting this cash.